whether somebody loots or somebody will not loot, a lot of things will happen.
Why is Tinubu doing this to us?
Join Kofi Bartels for engaging debates, expert insights, and your voice at the heart of every discussion. Don't just listen, participate. Tune in and be part of the conversation. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
What is health? It's more than the absence of illness. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. But let's delve deeper. Health is the heartbeat of life. It's the rhythm that keeps us moving forward. The pulse that echoes our vitality. It's a symphony of balance and harmony, resonating in every aspect of our existence. Health is a silent conductor, orchestrating the dance between the body and mind. It's the energy that propels us towards our dreams and aspirations. It is the foundation upon which we build our futures. So, what is health to you? Join me, Kofi Bartels, this and every Thursday for Health Thursday, 8 a.m. on the Morning Crossfire as we explore important issues affecting your health. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, you headed from the man himself. Health Thursday is back, and of course, I'm glad to be back right here on the Morning Crossfire. It's first Health Thursday for me for about 2 weeks, if not more. And you know what we do on Thursdays, we take care of your health. It's very important to talk health in the midst of everything that's going on, the policies, the politics, the social issues. You know, it's very important to talk about health because that is life. Health is life. All right. A healthy life or healthy person means that you have a healthy life. It's very important. And recently, the world commemorated a very important occasion, which I'm told whilst I was away, Sheriff Quadri had announced that we'll talk about. And today, we're going to talk about it. It is very important. All right. It is very important. And so, of course, I think it was on September 10. That should be last Thursday. The world marked World Suicide Prevention Day. World Suicide Prevention Day. And we couldn't talk about it because of space. You know, some other things that were planned ahead of that. But today, I'm happy to say that we're going to talk about suicide. It's very important. Lagos has had its fair share of publicized suicides. It's mostly in Lagos we hear these things. So someone jumped off a bridge into the lagoon and all that. And I'm sure that those who planned World Suicide Prevention Day must have had things like this in mind to say, hold on a minute, let's have a day, to commemorate and to educate and enlighten people in order to prevent suicide. And so I'd like to, at this juncture, introduce our guest who tell us more about this thing called World Suicide Prevention Day, and also give us insight into how to get handle or tackle this thing called suicide. Very important to ensure that it is not does not continue in our society. Well, to be part of the conversation, please call the numbers we usually advertise, including 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 0993. That's the first number to call. It's for everyone. Second number to call, 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190. That's the second number to call. Then we have a WhatsApp number, which is 080 95 97 5805. That's a WhatsApp number. For now, we're taking only WhatsApp messages. And the second phone number is for our female listeners, so it's very important. I'd like to say good morning to Radio Doctor. That's what she's called. Radio Doctor, good morning.
Hi, Kofi. Good morning.
Okay.
How is your mental health?
Very, 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 very important. I think what I need is more rest. More rest.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer.
But
yeah, thanks.
Yes, please, please go on.
Yeah, go on, Kofi, go
Yes,
on.
but I think I would say it's good. It's good because it's I'm aware that I need to take care of my mental health. Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed.
Absolutely.
But to introduce you properly, for those who say, "Now, radio doctor, is this the one I know?" This is Miss Obi Alama Nnadi. She's fondly called Radio Doctor, and that's why I call her that by a teaming radio audience. She's a founding CEO and team lead of Thrive Network, a registered mental health non-governmental organization. She has certifications in violent behavior and mental health studies and a diploma in mental health. Her journey into the field of mental health advocacy began in 2018, believe it or not, far back as 2018. Inspired by a personal battle with postpartum depression after the birth of her first two children. Now, Obi co-hosts mental health talk shows on Wazobia FM, our sister station, every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m., a program that has been running for 3 whole years. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
In late 2024, she expanded her reach by co-hosting Mindful Wednesday on Kids FM 101.7 FM. That's another of our sister radio stations. You should get your children to listen to that, in fact, the entire family. Focusing on mental health topics relevant to young adults, teenagers, children, and their parents is so important. We get consumed by politics, consumed by sports, and we don't focus on these important aspects of our society. It's so important, and I hope we can have you back on again. You remind me of Dr. Phil, by the way. Yes, because these are very important aspects of life. And
Very.
And she's committed to personal and professional growth. Obi is set to begin her MSc in mental health at Anglia Ruskin University, UK in 2025. That's a very, very good university. All right.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best at Anglia Ruskin.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much.
when you're
Thank
done,
you.
you're coming back. You'll bring some and bring an Arsenal jersey. That's what I want. All right, Obi. What is mental health to start with? Because when you ask me how's your mental health, I didn't take offense because it's an important question. But also period in my life, I was like, why are we talking about this mental health thing? In the UK, that was where I first heard mental health. They were all about mental health. Prince William and his charity, I think.
Yes.
Mental health everywhere. And I'm like, these people are
Big
just
on mental health.
trying to bring another Oyibo thing that is just going to... Are they saying we are mad? Are they saying we are mad? So, but as time went on and as I grew older, I began to realize that this is really an important aspect of our life. So what is mental health, please?
Okay, Kofi. First of all, thank you so much for starting this very important conversation. Before we go any further, I'd like to do a trigger warning because we might have listeners who are struggling with their mental health or who are struggling with suicidal ideation. So we will interchange the word suicide with unaliving yourself or themselves, just to tone it down a bit. But if at any point the conversation gets heavy for listeners who are struggling with their mental health, just step outside, inhale some fresh air, and come right back into the conversation. Thank you so much for that introduction, Kofi. So what I do basically is I advocate for the parity of mental health in Nigeria. Mental health has 3 arms. You have the prevention, which is what we're doing today, talking about ways to prevent suicide in society. We have the treatment, where professionals come in, psychologists, therapists, mental health counselors, psychiatrists all come in, mental health nurses as well. And then we have the prevention, we have awareness, prevention, treatment. These are the 3 arms of mental health. So when I asked you, how is your mental health? Like you rightly said, if somebody asked me that 20 years ago, 15 years ago, nothing will stop you and I from going to the police station, because I'll be super upset. I will think you're calling me a mad person. I'll think, I'll think that's a very derogatory term. So one of the ways we've tried to normalize conversations around mental health is ask people, how is your mental health? Because your mental health is the powerhouse, the overall powerhouse of your well-being, which is why mental health is a state of overall well-being that determines how we think, feel, how we act, how we handle stress, how we manage our relationships, how we react to situations that trigger us and all of that. Your mental health determines all of that. So when people say, oh, Obi asked me, how is your mental health? She's asking me if I'm mad. If that's the case, then we're all mad. That's the case.
Yeah.
Yes, because we all
Yeah.
have mental health,
Yeah.
right? We all have mental health. So what then happens when you want to break it down to brass tacks is you now separate good mental health from bad mental health. Because I'm sure a lot of our listeners will ask, wait a minute, you mean you have good mental health? Yes, there's actually good mental health and there's bad mental health. Now, what are people mistake mental health to be is mental illness. So, like you have physical health, like if anybody who looks at me now will see that the only physical health problem I have is my poor eyesight, which is why I'm wearing a pair of glasses recommended by a doctor. So, apart from that, you can see that in terms of physical health, I'm in top shape. Top shape. Now, it's the same way we have mental health. Mental health has to do with your state of mind. Physical health has to do with your physical state. That's the difference, but they're all the same. So the same way Kofi can fall ill with malaria, typhoid, Kofi can come down with diarrhea, and all of that. The same way we have cancer is the same way we have mental illnesses.
So if someone asks you, by the way, I won't fall that way, malaria. I'm just being like,
okay, in
yeah,
Jesus' name, amen.
no, but if someone asks you,
Yeah.
how is your health? You won't take offense.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
How is
If
your health?
someone
You
asks
even thank the person. Thank you for
you.
asking.
Oh, exactly. Do you understand? And if I say to you, oh, I think I have a bit of a tummy ache, I've had it for 5 days, I have a serious headache, Kofi, the next thing you say to me is, have you seen a doctor, right? There'll be a lot of empathy, there'll be a lot of care. You'll even follow up. You'll probably even, embark on fasting and prayer for me to recover. It's the same way we have mental health problems. But these days, because the mental health vocabulary keeps changing globally. So we no longer really call it mental illness. We call it mental health disorders, mental health problems, mental health challenge, mental health downtime, and all of that, just to reduce the stigma surrounding the concept of mental health. So, for instance, somebody who has depression, right? I can be depressed because of a case of sudden job loss. And once I get another job, I'm good to go, right? It's the same way I can be depressed and I will require professional help. There's nothing, Kofi, there's nothing anybody can do for me till I see a professional. So mental health problems depends on severity.
Okay.
So when our people hear mental health and they say, oh, that's Yaba left. No, that's the extreme end. That's schizophrenia. That's the extreme end of mental health problems. So let me just take a break here.
So when somebody says you may have poor mental health, doesn't mean that you may be walking on the street, without trying to disrespect people who are on the streets. They are also human. You may just be depressed.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I somehow feel that this word called depression is sometimes misunderstood or misused.
Yes.
So what is depression? Because some people I see are sad, and they'll say I'm depressed. Now, I'm not in a position to tell them you're not depressed, because that'll be insensitive. But there's sometimes I feel maybe people confuse sadness for depression. Is there any truth to this?
Definitely. In fact, there's so many misconceptions surrounding depression, which is a mental health condition. Well, look, typically depression is a mood disorder characterized by symptoms like persistent sadness. You just said something. That I am sad now does not necessarily mean I am depressed. You have to see some key symptoms in this person to even assume that this might be depression. And why I say assume is you will need a professional to do an evaluation before arriving at, a diagnosis. So, for instance, depression is typically characterized by symptoms like persistent sadness, rapid mood swings, increase or decrease in appetite, drastic changes in appetite. And there's something I want to say. It's not every depressed person that is suicidal. It's important to say this because once our people hear depression, they say, oh, they want to unalive themselves. No, not everybody who is depressed is suicidal. And depression is of two types. You have depression happening from outside, you have the one happening from the inside. So, for instance, job loss, something like your environment when it rains and there's a lot of flood, and this flood brings in a lot of water into your living room and destroys stuff. Or you misplace something very precious to you and you can't afford to replace it. These things can trigger depression on the outside, right? And they're considered temporal because once you sort out these situations, you feel much better. However, there is depression that can occur sometimes and you don't even know why. Research has even proven that some people can be depressed as a function of changes in their brain chemicals and all of that. It can be a function of a history of violence. It can be a function of gender-based crimes and violence and all of that. So depression, there are just so many types. And like you said, throwing that word around carelessly is now the norm in our society. If you jump on a social media app like Facebook, you see people say, oh, once I have money, I cannot be depressed. Depression, money cures depression. No, that is so wrong. We see wealthy people unalive themselves. If that's the case, then depression, it means you're saying that wealthy people do not experience depression, and that's not true. So there are so many factors that can trigger depression in people, and sometimes the history is even untraceable. Yeah, so let me again.
All right. Interesting.
Right back to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about suicide and suicide prevention,
Yes.
and I like to be practical. So if you're listening this morning, you have any question regarding suicide, something that you've been through in life, or you're considering, taking your life, and you have any question to ask, first of all, I think our guests would tell us, we'll need to talk to you, maybe off the air or something. But if you have any question regarding this topic, you can call. All right. And have your say. And Doc, what can you say to anybody listening today, as we're talking about World Suicide Prevention Day, who is considering suicide as an option, a way out? What can you say to them?
Oh, okay. So the first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to address two people in this category. I'm going to address people who are, struggling with suicidal ideation. That's the thoughts of ending their lives, intentionally ending their lives. Then I'm going to address people who know someone struggling with suicidal ideation. So number one, if you are struggling with suicidal ideation, you're having thoughts of ending your life, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, this is just a feeling. It's an in-the-moment feeling. It will pass. And I know, as unbelievable, as hard as it sounds right now, it will definitely pass. And then the second thing I'm going to say is, please seek professional help. Look, Kofi, is the same thing that we're saying, right? Somebody can be depressed and is as a function of a temporal event happening in their lives. Somebody can be depressed and must seek professional help. So people who are dealing with suicidal ideation must seek professional help. Now, here's the thing that I've noticed over the years in the course of doing this job, the advocacy for mental health parity in Nigeria. People who struggle with suicidal ideation, the people around them, as a function of, I don't know if ignorance is a heavy word to use, as the limited knowledge we have on mental health problems, the people around people dealing with suicidal ideation seem to trigger it knowingly or unknowingly. They seem to even act as the catalyst for people to, unalive themselves. And why do I say this? Okay. No, go on, Kofi.
We're going to take a break. This statement you made is something we need to, dive deeper into. You're saying people who are around people who have suicidal ideas or thoughts.
Yes.
trigger it or even make it worse.
Absolutely.
I want you to
Absolutely.
tell me how they do so and
Okay.
why
Okay.
essentially how they do so when we come back from our break. And of
Okay.
course we'll throw lines open. Lines are already open; they never closed, but we'll take calls when we
Okay.
come back right here on the Morning Crosser. Please stay with us, all right? Don't touch it out. We'll be back.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
When it's time to cook, don't you stress. Last Kitchen brings the best. Oil, mayonnaise, seasoning cubes. Cause that chocolate coffee, so much to choose. Food is ready, as it is. Taste the magic, crystal clear. Delicious, healthy, always true. Lazarus brings pure joy to you. Lazarus Kitchen, magic in every taste.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo.
Oh, the only detergent that keeps me bright and fresh. Bana bata lokaci a wurin wanki. Viva mafi inganci. Ito da sakwa hirin na tunyo bere Viva. Chiri Viva. Maswakoko atomo relu do Viva. Viva, oh Viva. Viva, some Viva. Obu yiche Viva. Omero Viva titila. Viva, oh Viva. Viva, some Viva. Obu yiche Viva. Omero Viva titila. Viva, oh Viva. Viva, some Viva. Obu yiche Viva. I love my Viva forever.
Viva Plus detergent, a quality cleaning powder from Aspira.
Mom, are you going shopping?
Yes, darling.
Can you get me a Capri Sun beach ball, please, Mommy?
For sure. Wait, where do I get a Capri Sun beach ball?
There's a free beach ball inside every carton of Capri Sun, Mom.
That's right. The Capri Sun Beach Ball promo is here. There's a free beach ball inside every carton of Capri Sun. Terms and conditions apply.
Capri Sun, the taste of fun.
It's time for back to school. Looking for a reliable pen? With Big Crystal Original, forget your worries. It flows smoothly over paper. No more running out of ink. Big Crystal Original is the pen that writes up to 3 kilometers for your notes, exams, and scribblings during class. Big Crystal Original, a pen you can rely on.
What does it really mean to live limitless? It's a sojourn in Gombe, leading a procedure in Lagos. It's SMEs showing up every day, pushing through the odds. It's students in remote towns streaming global lectures in real time. It's you making big moves in London while chilling by the pool in Abeokuta. It's power, it's freedom, it's mounting a router outside and connecting it inside for super fast internet. It's Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Enjoy unlimited data for limitless living with Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel.
It's my dollar day. Hallelujah, it's my dollar day. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, your Naira card is now like dollars in your pockets, as you can now shop directly on stores like Amazon, eBay, Macy's, and many more in the USA, all with your Naira card. And here's the bigger news. With African Import-Export Solutions, you can now shop anywhere in the USA, completely tax-free. That means you save thousands shopping your favorite items like the latest phones, gadgets, electronics, fashion items, auto parts, and lots more. To learn how to save thousands and get your items delivered to you in just 3 to 5 business days, visit www.africanies.com or call 0700 800 7000 today. African Import-Export Solutions, making global shopping simple for Nigerians.
Imagine that your car engines are running smoothly. Plus, you get instant cash or airtime rewards for that. You don't have to imagine any further in the AP Lubricants Instant Rewards promo, where everybody is a winner. From the 1st of August to December 31st, 2025, buy Visco 2000, Super Visco Static, HD40, or any other AP Lubricants grade and get 200 naira for 1 liter, 400 naira for 4 liters, and 1000 naira for 25 liters. Just like that. No delays, no stress, instant cash out. So hurry now. Visit any AP filling station or accredited seller near you to get your AP lubricants and come out a winner. Terms and conditions apply. AP Lubricants, engineered for excellent engine performance.
Ever wonder why Mamado oil makes some meals just unforgettable?
That's stew you made last week. I have been thinking about it every day.
Or why your taste buds can't forget Victoria's Crunchy Chicken.
Bestie, please tell me you made fried chicken today.
Or even why your children always want to play in Auntie Kemi's house.
Mommy, can we go to Auntie Kemi's house?
When it comes to delicious tasting meals, it's Mamador. Mamador oil is available in stores near you and also available in pocket-friendly sizes. Use Mamador oil today.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
As a mom and a dentist, I know the importance of strong teeth, beautiful white smile, and fresh breath. They give you the confidence to eat the right foods without worry, speak confidently in public, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1-2-3. It's 3 toothpaste in 1 to protect their teeth from holes, give them white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1-2-3.
E get many things where they gbadu pampe for. You fit dey transfer yafun free of charge.
Tell me more.
Data and airtime na cheap on top pampe.
Talk the tori now dey hear.
You pay for something, they give you something back. No be play.
No be cashback be that.
Dem still sama you reach 20% kule interest on top saving.
This better. Na more.
Na app we get many enjoyment and jollification. Na pampe. Say yes to more.
Malta Guinness is now 600 naira. Now you get the same refreshing, nourishing, rich premium Malta Guinness for just 600 naira. Available at stores near you. Malta Guinness, here for every kind of you.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey, and when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
This is Nigeria Info, where the conversation begins.
Do you think, as a scientist, we need GMOs in Nigeria?
Nigeria as a government has a policy that promotes the use of advanced biotechnology in ensuring food security, environmental conservation, and health improvement.
MDMA is there from the lab, from the containment level. Before it gets to the field, MDMA would have known that this crop will contaminate, and the regulatory agency, of course, will stop that before it gets to the Nigerian market.
Tobia Musa, I'm sure you've seen that video, you've heard what she said. Is it satisfying what the AFN said?
You know, there is so much corruption in many aspects, in many sectors. We are in a country where the worst of us will be best of us.
Nigeria as a country is not ready for anything development, but Nigeria is
what do you mean? Why? What do you mean by that?
Stay with us on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still Health Thursday right here on the Morning Crossfire. Guest still with us, Olamma Nnadi. mental health advocate, and of course, founding CEO and team lead of Thrive Network with us. We're talking World Suicide Prevention Day, which was last week. And of course, we're still observing it because we couldn't do that last week. So we're talking mental health and particularly suicide prevention. All right. And if you have any question regarding suicide or unaliving oneself, you maybe you've had any thoughts of that, or you know someone who has contemplated that in the past or currently, you want to ask any question, please feel free to do that. This is a no judgment zone, so you'll not be judged on any way. If you want to remain anonymous, please feel free to do that. But before we went to the break, a guest was telling us that sometimes people around those who may have suicide thoughts, they make the thing worse. You know, they make it worse. Obi, how exactly do we make things worse?
Okay. For the benefit of people who might just be tuning in, before I answer, I just want to state that September, the entire month of September, is dedicated to suicide awareness and prevention, and it was mapped out. It was first mapped out in, I think, 2008, if I'm correct, by the International Association for Suicide Prevention in collaboration with World Health Organization. And this was done, because suicide was becoming a public health emergency and problem. More people were intentionally unaliving themselves. With the advancement in technology and data collation and all of that, there was a massive surge in death through suicide. And so this entire month of September, mental health advocates like me, professionals and all of that, all create awareness like we're doing, like Kofi and I are doing right now, having conversations on suicide. So yes, back to the question, Kofi, someone might ask, how am I possibly a trigger? Or what role do I play? And I'm going to start with the most, what's the word I'm looking for now? The most relatable example are social media handles. I say to people, it is not every viral story on the internet that you must make a post on, especially when you don't have all the details. So you see somebody who, the other day on my feed, I was scrolling through my Facebook feed and somebody says, the guy just welcomed twin girls, I think last year, but I know he has been struggling financially. His marriage is not in the best of places. His wife, has been in the attack because of the lack of the financial wherewithal to cater to the kids. And then I think he lost his job. He's a teacher in a primary school. So he makes this post, one day, I'm going to go far away from here. Nobody's going to see me. And trust me, Nigerians in the comment section did not even disappoint. And go far away now. Is it because you got married? My father trained 6 children. He did not think of ending his life. So when you do things like that, you are contributing, you are worsening this individual's thoughts of ending it all. Mm-hmm. The first thing you should do is show empathy and provide support. This is just one of the most relatable examples. Trolls, social media bullying, you just make that comment and go away, but you don't know the state of this person's mental health. You don't even know what's happening behind the scenes. You have 700,000 followers. You don't know how many of them are dealing with suicidal ideation and all of that. This is why we always advise social media users to do a trigger warning. Let people know what your content, what the information contained in that content you're about to put up contains, so they can decide if they wish to continue or not. That's one way. Another way that we cannot end this discussion without bringing up are the religious people and even the religious heads who unknowingly, yes. So you have religious family members, because look, we're approaching these things from family, community, and the government levels, right? So family, which is the most crucial and important agent of socialization on the socialization ladder. When a family member is dealing with suicidal ideation, I always say to people, that's not the time to say to them, it's because you didn't follow me to a religious house last week. That's why this is happening. or you don't go every Friday or every Sunday to go and pray. That's why you're experiencing this and all of that. No, that is you shaming people who are dealing with, mental health problems. Look, our society is already had enough stigma. There's stigma at every turn. If Kofi is not married at age 35 or 40, he will be shamed for it. If Obi does not have a child at age 40, I will be shamed for it. So our society does not hesitate to shame people for even the most personal things and choices and decisions. So yeah, so somebody is dealing with suicidal ideation. A young lady once said to me, she said, when her dad passed, she was not in the best of places with her mom. And so the relationship between her mom, there was a massive strain. So her mom continuously attacked her, the whole thing. And her mental health deteriorated. And she started, toying with suicide. And one day, she says to her mom, look, I'm just going to end it all. Like, I think I'm tired. Her mom said, yeah, end it all now. That's what her mom is like, end it all. I don't even want you in this house. When I'm praying with your siblings, I've always known you are possessed. Right from when I had you, I had to go through the fire to deliver safely. They had to take me to a native doctor. My life has always been hard since I had you. These are the words a child was hearing from her own mom. So you see how family members knowingly or unknowingly, act as the catalyst that hastens on the intentional unaliving of oneself in the family setting.
I see. Wow, interesting. Let's take some calls here. We'll come back to you, Doctor. I'll come back to you, Obi, rather, very shortly. 99.3, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Radio Doctor.
Yeah. We had you call earlier today, am I correct?
I want to ask a question, Mr. Kofi.
I have a rule. I have a rule. Well, since it's mental health we're talking about, I won't stop you. All right.
Thank you.
Since it's because it's mental.
Dr. Obi, good
morning.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes. Dr. Obi, we have a caller who's saying good morning to you.
Hi. Good morning.
Yes.
This is a bully on the line, Dr. Obi.
Yeah. What's
Hi. Good morning.
Your contribution, please?
So I'm good. Mr. Dr. Obi, I'm working with a community of persons living with disability, and you and I know they are quite most vulnerable at this point in time in the nation of the economy.
Definitely.
Now, how do you identify one who is planning suicide? Yet they keep telling you that their mental health is absolutely fine. Dr. Obi, this is a serious case. And then the next thing I hear is that the person has unalived himself. What do you think I can do? What are the triggers? I know you've mentioned a couple of things, but what should I look forward to as I work with this community? Thank you very much. And we need to talk after this, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And if I can get her details after this show, Kofi, so we can have more conversations. But first of all, I just want to say well done on the fantastic job you're doing. I hear a lot of passion in your voice for what you do. But the first thing I'm going to say, right, when you're working with people who are risk factors, and by risk factors, I mean people who are most susceptible to mental health problems, especially in a society like ours where people are shamed, it might not be that easy identifying triggers. But here's one thing I'm going to say. For instance, if you have somebody amongst them who's the life of the party, who knows how to get things going, start conversations, bring people together, who becomes suddenly withdrawn, who becomes suddenly irritable, you notice rapid mood swings, you notice low moods, right? Low motivation and things like that. Those might be some of the signs that there are massive changes in their mental health. The other thing that I'm going to say is when you are informed, so you can carry out your own research online. You can do a lot of reading, and I will suggest I'll share some links with you if Kofi gives me your number right after the show. And the other thing that I can tell you is this: continuously create that safe space. Because one thing with people who are risk factors for mental health problems in our society that I have noticed is that they are so afraid to even admit that they have mental health problems. So if you create that awareness, like every morning you can create a mental health activity or just a fun task. So let them know that this is your safe space. I'm here for you. And whatever you want to share with me will remain private. Things like that. So Kofi, please, you can just let me have my details after the show.
I hope maybe she can send a WhatsApp message and then I'll forward the number. to you.
Okay. All right.
We have an next listener on the line, 99.3. Good morning.
Hello, Kofi Bartels. Good morning.
Yes. Your name, location, and contribution, please.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Peter Monse from Shomulu. And Doctor, good morning.
Yeah, go straight to the point.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yes, my question is this. The signals or the red flags that one could see or could hear that will help you know that this person is thinking about suicide. And when you hear statements like, look, I'm fed up, or statement like, I will give it up, another statement like, why am I here? What am I living for? How do we make sure that the society key into those red flags to prevent suicide? Because I have a situation that somebody lost her job and as a child and couldn't get it. House rent is difficult, and then feeding is difficult. Most of the time you hear, why am I living here? Why am I here?
All right.
Why am I alive?
All right.
So how does society prevent that instead of encouraging it?
Okay.
Communal living, how do we go about this? Thank you.
Obi, you didn't get the question?
Yes, I did. You know why I'm so excited? Because Peter already seems quite informed. Peter seems quite informed. He already mentioned some warning signs of people dealing with suicide and suicidal ideation. So, Peter, the first thing that I want to say to you is well done for being a mental health ambassador. And the second thing that I want to say, you must see more than 3 or 4 combined signs in one person to know that, okay, this person is probably thinking of ending it all. So you said things like, I want to end it all. You can also see signs like them giving away their possessions. You can also see things like them saying, oh, this is my ATM PIN number. Please let my mom have it. I have this amount in this bank account. Things like this. You might also notice a massive change in moods, massive mood swings, isolation. They talk less. They don't want to be in public spaces. You can also, a persistent sadness. Yes, that's another sign. Feelings of hopelessness and all of that. These are just a few signs. But most importantly, ways we can provide support. I already mentioned, we must tone down the religious aspect of it. That's not the time to say to someone, oh, you're not praying enough. Or to a man who's, because I must say this at this point, right? We celebrated Men's Health in the month of June, and I was all over mass media promoting men's mental health. Why? Because globally, men come tops on the ladder when it comes to suicide. More men are ending their lives. Why? Because of the stigma surrounding mental health when it comes to men and their masculinity. So society does not expect men to complain about mental health problems. People will tell you mental health problems are for women alone and all of that. So shaming, stigmatizing men, saying to a man who is talking about ending it all, saying, oh, are you a woman? I don't even understand what that statement means. Because it takes a whole lot of strength to be struggling with your mental health and you're still here. So we must reduce the stigma. And I always encourage people, it doesn't start and stop with the conversation Kofi and I are having. Just go to Google and type stigma surrounding mental health, ways we can reduce stigma. You will always have all the information and all the details. All right. Number one, at the community level, I think this should come last. Because if Peter is listening, we're of course going to talk about prevention. So I don't know if we can do that now or we wait towards the end of the show.
Because time flies fast on radio, so go on.
Well,
time
flies when you're having fun.
Yes, as many calls as possible. So please go straight on.
Okay. So Peter, we're going to start at the family level. Remember, there's a lot of stigma surrounding suicide. You won't believe, Kofi, why we have challenges collating the number of people who unalive themselves in Nigeria is because families do not reveal to the hospitals when they take their dead relatives in. Those who end it through suicide. Families say, oh, he just woke up and we saw that he had passed. Why? Because if people know that, for instance, my dad or a female's dad ended her life, it can affect her chances of getting married. That's how heavy the stigma around suicide is in our society. Remember, there are also religious houses that will not conduct funeral rites if people intentionally end their lives. So there is this heavy stigma. And family is number one on this ladder when we're talking about prevention.
Right.
No shaming, safe space. Family members dealing with mental health problems must feel safe with family members. And then there's this thing we call emotional invalidation. Somebody is saying, I am depressed, I want to end it all. You say, oh, you eat 3 times a day. People are not even eating once in this economy. That's not the time to do things like that. Just say things like, I love you, I am here for you. You might not believe it, but this is a feeling.
Okay.
It is the moment thing, and it will pass.
This emotional invalidation that you've given it the name that most of us didn't know.
Yes.
Is something we need to focus a lot more on, because I believe that the practical aspect of this is what will, if we can stop someone from committing suicide today.
Absolutely.
I think would have done a good. So I mean, I'm like one of those who's very direct. Have you eaten? You have eaten now. You have a roof over your head. You have clothes on your back. What could be your problem? There are people on the street. That's me, because that's how I was raised. If you have any issue, you deal with it. And then you look at the fact that you're better off, and then you encourage yourself. There's no one to encourage, nobody to tell me anything. So I had a hard life. So those of us who had a hard life in some respects growing up, we got tough love. We give it out to people too. We give it. Life is hard. In fact, there are some people who say this whole mental health thing is woke ideology.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
In fact, that's an entire conversation on
another day.
That's
so we'll go there
conversation
for
I'd
another
like us
day.
to have.
In fact,
Absolutely.
I saw a guy who gave a podcast interview. I saw it this week or last week. I said there's nothing like mental illness. That all these drugs that are being given to people are just drugs being promoted by big pharma to make money. That they make things worse.
My goodness.
And he gave some somehow convincing statistics and evidence. So maybe another day we'll look at it. But how do we
Definitely.
How do we overcome this emotional invalidation? Because I'm there. I'm see, my hands are up here. I find it hard to understand. Sometimes people would say I'm sad. What is your problem? So help me, and help people like me.
Kofi, first of all, big ups to you for admitting. Look, emotional invalidation. I was raised as well. That's the way I was raised. Just get on with it. My mom and dad had no time to discuss mental health with you. But let me tell you something. Mental health problems have been with us for the longest time possible. In fact, I was reading a research on postpartum psychosis. That's a severe form of postpartum depression. Some women experience after childbirth, right? And this was done. I'm trying to remember the name of the person who put out that article. There were so many symptoms that were linked to a condition called AGU in Igbo land. AGU is so similar to postpartum psychosis. So when you look at both of them, you say, wait a minute, it might just have been postpartum psychosis. Because what happens? Women dealing with postpartum psychosis are taken to religious homes and abandoned. You cannot believe it. Meanwhile, what these women need is professional help, right? So emotional invalidation is one thing that in fact, our religious leaders, our family, even government staff, they do all that. When you go to the hospitals, some people who should be trained in providing empathy and caregiving, they're the first people to tell you, please. I was watching a video of a woman who was having a baby, and the nurse said, don't kick me, madam. You can imagine. So there's a lot of emotional, but I'm going to say something to everybody, and including you, Kofi. We must understand that Kofi, the things that might kill Kofi might only make Obi stronger. The things that can kill Obi might only make Kofi stronger. We are all different. Our resilience levels are different. Another conversation I'd like us to have, will border on parenting skills, right? Because when children, for instance, do not have that mental resilience. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody has mental health problems, but sometimes, depending on the mental health problems in place and coping mechanisms and resilience levels, Kofi might recover faster than Obi will. You see, so that's where the conversation becomes kind of complicated, but that's a conversation for another day. So we must be kind. We must be kind. For instance, there are people who have a history of mental health Oh, Kofi.
You know,
okay, go right ahead.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to we'll have to break this thing down into this emotional validation to look for one day.
Definitely.
The postpartum psychosis. We'll have to look for one day. It's a whole gamut of things around suicide.
Oh my goodness! Exactly, Kofi.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I want to thank you for your time, Obi. It's unfortunate we have to leave it at this. And
thank you so much, Kofi,
we're just
for having me.
Talking to everyone out there who is having any form of suicidal thoughts, to know that it is just a passing feeling. It's something that if you just wait for a while, some moments to pass, it'll disappear.
Let me just you guys. So, Judith visited me a few weeks ago and brought food stuff. While unpacking, she pulled out John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate and started hyping it.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99